So, sometimes in life, bro, when you come up with an idea,
Sure.
we're going to talk about that this time around.
So you brought a topic.
I brought a topic.
All right. Okay.
Cue the intro. Hello, guys. It's Two Latin Brothers Podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian.
And we're back at it again with another vlog.
No.
Yes.
You keep starting it like this, and I don't appreciate it.
See.
Look, I've been, we
Mm-hmm.
have been doing this for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was talking about this someone with my class.
Yeah.
Well, who's in my class. We were talking about this, and they still don't know what I do on the side, which is, kind of funny. But well, for me, it's fun for me, not for them, because they're all like, I have an idea of what you do, but I'm not sure, which is one of two things. One, it's just me like messing with them, and two, well, I mean, it's true.
You're getting closer to what my topic's gonna be.
Here's the thing. Okay, so I want to explain this real quick.
Okay,
right? I like it's like the preface.
Okay.
That because they don't know exactly what I'm doing, it's more or less just me messing around. Well,
like
it's us
you'll
messing
figure it
around
out one day, like kind of thing.
Well, at one point, I will tell I mean, if we ever meet up in person, like they're gonna be like, no man, honestly, what's with the setup?
I know, like you got a microphone.
Look,
got, like,
yesterday,
nice
no joke. Yesterday, no
Yeah.
joke. A prof saw my microphone setup, and he's like,
What do you do?
yeah, he's like, just straight up, he's like, are you a musician? And if you're a long time listener, you know that I am. I just don't record music
For the public.
I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like a hobby.
It's a hobby.
I know. And I record certain things, but like, I mean, I'm not going to drop no mixtape.
You're going to drop a mixtape?
No, I'm not doing that.
He's announcing it now, 2022.
No.
I'm
no,
kidding,
man. That's a little too much.
It's a little less, actually.
Anyway, getting back on track.
Yeah.
You were saying about your topic.
I brought a topic, and it's more like it's very general, actually. It's more like to talk about like the awkward moments you've had in school, or like someone has had in school and you were just like laughing in the background in silence. Do you recall any moments like this?
Okay, man, so many.
Exactly.
So many. All right, so actually I lived this moment.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. So when I'm not going to say his name because...
O call him Pepe.
I mean, okay. So
Pepe.
in grade, can you stop?
Yeah.
Okay, in grade, can I talk? You're like looking at me like I'm doing something wrong. Okay, when I was in grade 5, there was a guy that could not stay at his desk.
Okay.
Like
he
would just wander around.
What?
Like constant.
In the class?
Yeah.
Like during a lecture?
Yeah, no, during the class.
Like,
this was like in grade 5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so regardless of what's going on, he was like never at his desk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was a pretty smart kid.
We all had that kid.
What?
We all had that kid.
I mean, okay, anyway, he couldn't walk. Like he
couldn't walk?
It's not that he couldn't walk. He would
like
just
a really dark story real quick.
Look, no, he would just walk around.
He would walk around. Mm-hmm.
He would just walk around the entire class. Mm-hmm. And then I remember the teacher's way of solving the problem was like, I'm going to put a line of tape around your desk. And if you leave that box,
time out.
No, you're going to get a detention.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, if you get 3, you're going to like the principal's office.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like the school rule. If you get 3 detentions in a row, you got to go to the principal's office.
Yeah.
So I remember this one time. He's trying to find loopholes so he can keep walking around. So it got to a point where he would have like his foot on the tape line and he would like reach out to us, the rest of the class. Yeah. Because she had him on like one side all by himself. And then we were all in like rows.
Yeah.
And it got really funny because he would have his foot on like the line of tape and the rest of his body was outside of the box. And and she's like, you're not in the box. And he's like, miss, my back foot, my left foot, my toe is touching the line. And it was like really funny. And then this one time in like science class, the teacher said something and she's like, I'm going to let you guys think about it and then we'll reconvene.
Okay.
And he got up on his desk and just started walking around in like a circle. And she's like, "What are you?" He's like, "I'm not leaving the box, miss." Like, kid. But it wasn't like awkward for him. It was awkward for her because he just kept finding loopholes.
And she's like, "How are you doing this? Like, what is this?"
Like it was just. And then one day he devised a plan. He brought his own tape and like drew a square around the entire class. And then,
oh my gosh,
like, and I don't know how he did this.
Like before class,
like no, because she didn't figure it out. Like, and then one day he just like he got up in the middle of class and he just walked out of his box, and we're all like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, get back in the box." Yeah, like, you're gonna get in trouble.
Like, yeah.
And he goes, "That won't happen." And we go, "What?" And he goes, "That won't happen." And we're all like, this outlaw out here.
This outlaw, like this kid.
This rebel. Who's he think he is, you know? Yeah. And I remember the teacher, like, she like got mad at him. She, "Get back to your desk. You're not in the box." And he goes, "Miss, welcome to the tape box." And she goes, "What?" And he goes, "Look around the edge of the room, miss." And the whole room was lined with a line of tape.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
the whole room. Like it was like one of those baller moments. You're like, he's our champion, he's our hero, he's that, you know, like
he's like it's like when Goku arrives to the scene of a battle scene, you know, and everyone's just like, "That's my guy, that's my G."
That's like every anime main character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kirito wakes up,
everything happened.
You know, what's it?
Asta showed up.
Yeah,
and
then Natsu shows up.
Natsu shows up.
No.
Naruto showed up, pain fights.
What is it? what's his name? No, Deku shows up.
Yeah, Deku shows up.
I mean, Bakugo too shows up.
Yeah, he shows up every once.
What's his name? The other guy, the half cold, half hot.
Todoroki.
Todoroki shows up. You know, those three are like clutch. They show up, it's over.
Yeah, it's always like the trio story.
Oh, and Tenya.
Yeah.
Those four,
yeah,
they could kill anybody if they wanted to.
Okay, let's not use such harsh language here.
Okay, anyway, but so yeah, like it was that moment. And in that moment, she's like, "Principal, now." She was also like one of those teachers who didn't take it from anybody because she was teaching grade 8 before. And then they moved her down to teach grade 5. Literally like a semester, I think in like December, she told us, because she suffered of MS. So she had this huge like air purifier in the back of the room. And she told us that because her illness was getting worse and worse, she couldn't keep teaching. Because she also had like this issue where like her neck would swell up. And she would always be wearing turtlenecks because of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, so she stopped teaching. And then we had a substitute, but like not because she became our actual teacher.
Okay, so she was the substitute that became permanent.
Yeah. And then I actually know for a week we had like just like a different substitute.
Okay, so probably what happened was you had substitutes and then you probably had a contract teacher.
Yeah. I don't know exactly, but then she ended up staying, and my main teacher, she came back to visit like a few times. And I remember the last month she came back and she was like, "I've been like resting and recovering like really, really hard so I could be your teacher the last month of school." Dang. And we were all like, "Yo, miss, this is crazy. Like, this is nuts.
Like, you should go home. Like, relax. Don't worry about it."
So she did that. And the last week, like the last month of school, she was my teacher. She was my teacher.
Yeah.
And I remember after that, she got really sick again and she like took like a permanent leave. She didn't come back to work. And I remember I was in the middle of grade 6 and she came out of nowhere. Like she showed up and she looked amazing. She looked amazing. She looked like she had never been sick.
Yeah, I know.
Because like, like when people look sick, they look like sickly. They look like they're dying. Yeah. Well, that's when she looked when she left in June. She came back.
She looked like she was dying.
Yeah. And then she came back like March of like the following school year.
Pigmentation came back to her cheeks.
Yeah.
She looked
and it
like
was
a live
like,
human
whoa,
being.
What happened to you? And then I remember like years later hearing she had like a kid. I was like, whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like moments like that, I'm like, dang, she was my teacher. That's a fighter, you know? Like, yeah. I'll never forget.
Inspirational almost.
Yeah, I won't ever forget stuff like that. Anyway, but that was her awkward moment. What's yours?
I didn't have one. It was just a question. I was hoping for you to have the answers. Oh, and you did. You delivered.
I mean,
I did my part. You did my. Like, this is where the episode ends, guys.
No,
I'm kidding.
I actually got a few more if you want to hear them.
I mean, sure, yeah. I'm sure the rest are intrigued by your knowledge.
One of them happened to me.
Okay.
Okay, this one actually, like, I was in grade 6.
Slipped and fell and pooped your pants, didn't you?
No.
Crying.
No. Okay, so our teacher. Okay, so we had a really hard class. Like people didn't listen. It was like a ruckus the whole time.
So it was a class full of the rebels.
Not really.
The delinquents.
I think we were all like kind of rebel, but not rebel.
So like delinquents.
Like we didn't take any. You know, we were like,
bro, what do you
think you are?
Sit your down.
You know, like it was kind of like that mentality, but we were all like 11.
Yeah.
You know, or like no, yeah, we were all like 11.
Y'all took the gangster.
No, like not everybody, mind you. Just some of us. But
y'all
I remember
up in your chains.
Anyway, people were our teacher. I keep saying prof, but it's teacher. But in that time, it's teacher.
It's teacher.
And he kept trying to, because he was a guy. Yeah. He kept trying to teach a specific science lesson. Or no, it was a math class. I think it was a math class.
Yeah.
And people kept interrupting because like they just like side conversations kept happening
everywhere.
Yeah. And then he's like, next person who talks or makes a sound is getting sent to the principal's office.
You sneezed, didn't you?
No, a friend of mine turned and looked at me and he goes, pudding. And I don't know what it was about that, but I just started laughing so hard. Like I had like a laugh attack in that moment.
Yeah.
Like I could not stop. And then he's like, what's so funny? And he goes, Adrian, office now. And it was like 10 a.m. at that point. And I was like, okay, fine. And I make a scene. Like I stomp out of the room. I slam the door shut. I'm going to the principal's office already. Anyway, it's too late now. Yeah. Like there's no going back. So I make it to the office and I go, my teacher wants me to talk to the principal. And the office lady goes, you? I'm like, because I had never been sent to the principal office. Yeah. And like for any like logical reason, right?
Yeah.
And the office lady goes, why? I was talking in class. And she goes, seriously? And I go, yeah. And she goes, okay, just sit here. She's in a meeting. Yeah. So like, I don't know when she'll get out, but we'll see. I'm like, okay. An hour goes by and I'm just sitting there like mind-numbingly, like lost in my brain.
Yeah.
Another hour goes by. It's 12 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, she just got in another meeting.
Oh my.
So I don't know.
So she never left her office. No. People were going in?
No. They were in a conference room.
Oh, okay. Just
like a meeting after meeting. Okay. They were just like pulling out all these meetings at one day.
Yeah.
And I remember another hour goes by and they're like, do you want something to eat? Like you haven't had lunch yet. Like you missed your recess because of this. And I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
It's okay. It's cool.
No worries. No, it's fine. And
I don't need your handouts.
No, it wasn't like that. It was more like, this is the punishment.
Yeah.
And I'm accepting it kind of mentality. And then I remember another hour went by. At this point, we're at like right before the last period of the day starts. Like the last class of the day.
Yeah.
And like there's like 10 minutes left before that class starts. And the principal comes and says, I hear you've been waiting for me like all day. And I go, yeah. She's like, okay, come with me. Let's go to my office. I'm like, okay. I get in her office and she goes, why are you here? And I go, I was talking in class. She goes, you mean to tell me you waited all day to talk to me because you were talking in class? And I go, that was the instruction. She goes, what? That's what the teacher told me to do. Yeah. He said, go to the office, talk to the principal because you were talking in class. She goes, seriously? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, okay, go back to class. And I go, seriously? And she goes, yeah. Like, she's like, if you ever get told to come down here for something like that, tell them I said to call me. And I go, seriously? She's like, even if he sends someone else, that's not you. And I go, okay. So I walk back upstairs and again, I don't take none.
Yeah.
So I get back to class and it's like super awkward because you were like, he was gone the whole day.
Like, oh my gosh.
Like people thought like he probably got suspended. And apparently the rest of the day everybody was like we're not gonna talk.
Yeah.
Like it was like the threat was real. It's all over, you know.
You show up and you're like, what?
And I get back to class and I'll never forget the teacher sees me like the last class starts and he's like, Adrian, I'm so sorry. I didn't think you'd take the whole day. He's apologized.
Yeah, he's apologetic now.
And then I look at the floor like something horrible, drastically horrible has happened. And then I go, I look up at him and I go, I'm going to need all the work I missed today. And And he goes, what? I go, I missed the whole day. I need all the work I missed. And like his face of like anger in that moment's like, who do you think you are? You like, but that's what happened. And I go, also, the principal told me to tell you that if you want to send someone down for talking, to call her next time before you do it. He goes, what? And I go, yeah, that's what she told me to tell you. And he goes,
okay.
Like you could just see the anger in his face. And I mean, like, really,
what are you supposed to say at that point?
It's super awkward, right? Because like the teacher-student dynamic, and there's like all this tension in the air, right? And I'm like, just trying to like, yo, man, like
I'm just listening. I'm just following orders.
I listen to you, then I listen to her. Like,
what's the issue? Why are you even madder than we started, man?
Like, okay, so the last class starts.
Yeah.
Which I think was English that day for whatever reason. And his tone of voice the rest of the day was like, I'm pissed off. I don't want to be here. So it was like super awkward. And I was like, oh, this is like,
I know your friends are probably looking at you like, so how was like the...
Yeah, everybody's like, what happened? Like everybody wanted to know. And I'm like, yo, after school. And then I tell them and they go, so you just sat there all day? And I go, yeah. And they go, what were you doing? I'm like, I was just in my brain, like
just thinking about life,
just daydreaming all day. They go, you were daydreaming all day. I'm like, yep. So okay, and back then our mom would pick us up from school.
Yeah.
So and she'd pick us up at the office. She would get out of her car and walk into the school.
Yeah.
So right as the bell rings, my mom's waiting there, and usually the principal would wait right at that door. Mm-hmm. And as soon as she sees our mom, she's like apologizing. She's like, I'm so sorry about your son. Because she thought that's why she got out of the car.
Yeah.
Because she's like, your mom walks in like, oh my gosh, he told his parents are here to attack us. Like, defensive line.
Yeah.
Right? So her, the vice principal, everybody, like the office people, they're all like
apologetic.
Yeah, they're all like, we're so sorry. It won't happen again. He did nothing wrong. It's not his fault. And I'm just standing there like, what is going on? Right? And then later on, I found out that apparently there's like a rule that they're not allowed. Like if an hour or two passes, they have to send you back to class.
Yeah.
Even if you don't talk to the principal.
It's happened to me before.
Yeah, and no one did anything. They just left me there, right? Unsupervised, on anything. Like there were moments when the office people went for lunch and they just left me alone in the office.
Dang.
So
that was irresponsible of them.
Oh no, it looked really bad. Like, I mean, I could have gotten them all in like a lot of trouble for this. But back then, I mean, you're 11. Like, what are you gonna do? Like.
You don't got that kind of mental power.
Oh, also, I didn't know the rules yet. That wasn't until I got to grade 8 where, I mean, I pulled some where it was like, oh my God, who does he think he is? Moments. But, yeah, I'll never... Like, that last hour of school was just so awkward.
It was so tense.
Oh, man. I'll never forget it for as long as I live.
Because, like, you could just hear the tension. All your friends are like, bro, like, you good? And then...
No, well, because, like, you could just... like when someone's talking and you can tell they're pissed off? Now, imagine someone trying to teach you English like this.
How am I supposed to learn?
Exactly. Like, you just gotta sit there and take it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what it was about that specific moment, but I don't know how everybody else felt.
I mean, like, also what drove the teacher to get so, like, upset?
Well, because I showed up, right? And I basically brushed off his apology and then told him, his boss told me to tell you to call her next time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like an indirect message, but like, she told me to tell you to call next.
Yeah.
Like, she sent his underling to deliver the message.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like imagine
this is where the power is.
Yeah, no, it's like imagine you're a manager and the CEO sends your subordinate to send you a message.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like that, right?
It's not even like my assistant. It's just your subordinate.
Yeah. Like, it's undermining protocol.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why didn't you just come to me first, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could have picked up a phone and called me before he got into the class.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I think ticked him off. Not only that, like, he's super well respected in the school because of who he is as an individual. Mm-hmm. Great teacher. Mm-hmm. Like, mind you, after I left that grade, I missed it so much because he was just like, he knew how to do his job and he did it well. Right? But moments like that were like, man, I just,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like just cringe, like for the full hour just cringe. You just wanted to crawl into a hole and die the entire time.
I mean, you could have just dug. Unless you were on the second floor.
We're on the second floor.
Oh, okay, so you can't dig.
I mean,
you can.
You know what's crazy? If you dig in that room down, you fall into the boys' washroom.
Oh shit! Imagine just like digging and you fall in the toilet.
I mean, because right below it, there's a boys' washroom.
Yeah.
There was some.
I don't know what else to talk about. Like my topic kind of got boring real quick. Eventually.
It's just me out here stressing, reliving childhood traumas.
Yeah, it's like the recorder all over again.
What's wrong with the recorder?
Those horrendous sounds children would make scarred me for life.
Oh, like in grade 4?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Like the recorders?
No, learning to play the recorder.
Like, why? What kind of sick-minded person was just like, you need to learn how to play the recorder for you to survive?
There are other schools that like teach students how to play the ukulele.
Okay. So
it's less worse.
Okay, but still, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, at what moment did it come to your mind that playing the recorder was gonna benefit my learning?
They're trying to expose you to music. Do you remember when...
No, I don't remember. You have to be more specific. Please expand.
I was trying to, but you cut me off.
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember...
No, I don't.
Can I tell you what it is?
Yes. Okay.
Do you... Okay, no, I'm just going to tell you. Forget the do you remember part.
Yes.
Stop looking at me like that. I don't like it.
Keep going. Keep going.
You're not letting me focus.
No. Keep going.
Okay, do you remember... Okay, so there was a time where I used to volunteer at your school, right?
Yes.
And there was this music teacher who,
probably,
he had some out there ideas about the world.
I can nor confirm or deny that. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so he was like all holistic and like energy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows, you know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I had a moment with him where he invited me to his house.
That's weird.
Let me finish.
You know how this sounds, right? Sounds like he's trying to swing with you.
Bro, just let me finish. Let me finish this story, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So I was volunteering in your music class and a bunch of other music classes. Because back then I was like true music savant. I was like, I got this.
I'm at the pinnacle of my power.
I kind of like all that knowledge is just sitting there now, just wasted space.
Honestly, I don't think I've read a piece of sheet music in like 6 months.
I think I've gone long. Anyway, getting back to the story. So he invites me over. He's like, I'm gonna go buy like some great steaks and I'll like cook them or something, and you can come over and have dinner with me and my wife, like as a thank you for volunteering in the class.
Yeah.
In the classes. And I go, oh, that's not necessary. Like I just straight up like no.
Get me out of here.
Right, like,
what is this guy thinking?
Well, no, I mean, like, he was a little odd, but in that moment, I was like...
So this is where my relationship is at with you?
No. It was more like, this is, like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah, I mean, you were volunteering and you were in high school. You needed the hours, so it wasn't...
No, by then I was already in college.
Oh, okay, so then you were just...
So, like, I'm a fully fledged adult, like... Technically,
it was okay.
Yeah, this is okay. But you know how he was as a person?
Yeah,
like,
he was odd. He's an odd.
Yeah, so like now I gotta walk into this guy's house.
Yeah,
like there's probably gonna be like little like salt lamps everywhere.
I mean, yes and no.
Right, so I didn't want to get involved anyway, right? And then
I mean, what would be weird is if he just walked in and it was just a hall of lava lamps.
That would be terrifying.
And then just skulls along the side.
Okay, no, okay. So listen.
Let me finish. Just ignore all the red flags. Walks right in.
Just keeps walking. No, okay. So
is that a trap door? Let's go.
No. Okay. So he's inviting me, and this other teacher walks in that moment, and I'm like, no, thank you for the offer, but no. And then he goes, are you sure? And then the other teacher jumps in, and she goes, what offer? And then she turns and looks at him. She's like, did the principal like give you money and you're trying to hire him? And he goes, no, nothing like that. Nothing like I don't have any funding. What are you talking about? He's like, I can barely keep this music room going. Like, there's no funding. And I go, no, he was just, offering me to buy me dinner. I just said it like that. Like as a thank you for volunteering in this classes here. And she goes, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't do this for like a reward.
Yeah.
I do it out of the kindness of my heart. Well, no, like
I'd just like to help the next generation.
No, at that point, like, I was doing it more like because at the time, like, the music teacher had retired.
Yeah.
This guy had just come in.
And you're like, he's going to ruin my program.
No, it's not that he was going to ruin the program. It was more like a helping hand.
Yeah.
Sort of thing,
for the transition.
Exactly. And the drama teacher, as soon as I started going, like every other day, she understood why. She was like, we should have hired you to be the music teacher.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not a teacher. Right.
She would have been like, go to teacher's college.
She told me.
Yeah.
Actually, a bunch of people told me, like, you should go become a music teacher. And I was like, I don't, like, I get it, but, like, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know.
It's not my thing.
Also, like, at the time, I was, like, 20.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was 19. 19 going to turn 20.
Okay.
And I remember, like, just some of the interactions with some of the students were, like, super awkward.
Yeah.
Because, like, do you know what it's like when, like, a 13-year-old flirts with you? Like, it's just odd. Like, because they all thought I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them thought I was still in high school.
Yeah.
So, like, people your age, and, like, I've never told you who specifically, but there were, like, 5 girls who, like, were straight up flirting with me. And I'm like, I'm an adult. And they go, what? I go, yeah, I'm like 19, and they all go, whoa, you know? And
that just makes it. I wouldn't have said that. I would have been like, I'm 40. Because, like, just saying you're 19 just makes you more attractive.
Well, no, because, well, I mean,
do you not know how the teenage mind works?
No, they're children, right? So, like, I can't, like, it's super awkward to navigate.
Like, see, like,
no, okay, wait. So listen. So I'm trying to navigate this.
That's like, yeah, no.
Right. It's not right. Okay.
No.
So I'm trying to, like, navigate, like, stop, just stop.
Like you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, treat me like a t-shirt. Like,
you can't say teacher today.
Yeah. I keep saying t-shirt. I don't know why.
Treat me like a t-shirt. You mean like that shirt I got on the floor right there?
Okay. No. Treat me like a t-shirt, or like
you just said it again.
Like a teacher.
There you go.
Teacher. I can't.
Like a teacher.
Anyway, treat me like.
I gotta make that a shirt. Treat me like a t-shirt. I can't even with this. I can't. No.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so
yeah.
Like,
I'm just waiting for you to say it again.
Or like a student teacher, you know, like treat me like that, right?
Yeah.
And then
I hear it in my head now. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so a lot of girls. Anyway, so a lot of girls who like got it and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, like that won't happen again, sort of thing. There was this one girl, and you know this girl. She didn't take the memo. She just kept going. Mm-hmm. And then one day she was like, it was just super awkward. And then I remember like we were in the practice room together, and then this music teacher, he like opens the door. He goes, you should never be alone with a girl in a room. And he goes, regardless of who it is. And it hit me in that moment like, right, I'm a guy. That looks weird. It looks wrong. Right. That will never happen again. And he goes, well, you know, as a guy, like what's stopping from saying something happened?
Yeah.
Right. Like there's no cameras in there, you know, like also she's a child, you're an adult. Yeah. And I go, right. And then, he's like, you need to be careful about that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, right. And literally like, as soon as that ends, she's like, I remember the next music class came and she's like, you want to help me in the practice room? And I go, and I'm like, a bunch of children screaming outside, and the window, I don't even know if the window's open.
It's open.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so she goes, let's go practice in the practice room, like just the two of us. And I go, and she played a specific instrument. I can't say what instrument because I feel like that's gonna give away, because all the people
she knows who she is.
I mean, all the people who are in your grade will be like instant identifier.
She wasn't in my grade.
Oh, that's right. She was a year younger than you. Anyway, okay,
she was 2 years younger than me.
No, she was a year younger than you.
No.
Yeah, she was a year younger than you.
No.
So then how was she in the music program when you were there?
Wait, what grade was I when I...
You were in grade 8 and she was in grade 7.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. She was in grade 6.
Nope, she was in grade 7. She's a year younger than you, bro.
No, she's 2. She's 2 because I took photography in grade 10, and that's when she showed up
to the school. That's a grade 9.
Oh wait, no, then that would mean
so she's a year. That's what I was saying.
Oh shit.
So watching him figure this out is just hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Anyway, so she's a year younger than you. Anyway,
Sure.
Anyway, so I'm gonna say what instrument it was. Okay, so
No.
so now I can't.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so now I can't say.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, no, we're gonna take like your whole section of that instrument into the room, and she goes, why? They don't need extra help. Because she was trying to go to. Okay, she was trying to go to like a music school or something. I can't remember.
I don't know. Okay.
I can't remember why she needed practice. Or she was trying to like audition for something.
No, I think she was. I think she did like cadets, and she was a part of the band.
I can't remember.
Cadets.
Anyway, so I take the whole section in there, and we spent the rest of the class just talking in there. Like, no practicing happened, because they were like, so what's it like being an adult? What's high school like? What's this? What's that? And I'm like, guys, we need to focus.
I remember when I went to go volunteer once, like, I went, because I was a part of, like, the learning disability class. Yeah. So I walked in there, and since I was already a successful high school student.
That's unsuccessful.
That was a very unsuccessful at high school.
Yeah.
Showed up, and the teacher was just like, so how was high school? Tell the class. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I want you to go up there, tell the whole class, and answer any of their questions.
That's terrifying.
And I'm just like, and you know what I said?
What?
Okay. So I showed up in front of the class, and I'm sure you all know me already. Haven't been gone that long, hopefully. And if you don't know who I am, you're probably new. So
you just moved to this school.
I'm like, I was just informed that
you were just informed
that some of you may have questions about high school, seeing as some of you are like already like in grade 7 and going to grade 8. And then she was like, no, I mean, not she was like, and I was like, and then she was like, and then they were like, you know.
I don't know what that. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't know where this direction's going. Yeah. But as I was saying,
like I like how you were explaining that, and you just kept getting quieter and quieter and quieter.
Like my brain is cluttering. Sorry.
All right.
I think it's because I have to stare at the mic is why I'm cluttering.
You can't just turn the mic like that. No.
So no, what I was gonna say.
It's because you're not sitting properly.
I don't know how to sit anymore. I've forgotten. What was it? Oh yeah. So I get in front of the class. Okay.
Right.
And I'm like, I heard some of you had questions about high school.
Right.
And then some students were just like, we had questions. And I was just like, shoot, miss, like you're putting me on the spot here. I'm like, okay, guys, so let me just tell you about my transition into high school.
Yeah.
And then I tell them how like I showed up literally the first day. I put my first foot and I tripped straight into the entrance. I'm like, this is the most awkward thing ever in my life. Anyways, I walked into the school. You know, there's like a board, and it's like with my name on it, and they told me what class I was going into, and yada yada yada. And then I'm just like, any questions? And then some students are just like, yeah, is there any resources to like help me because of my disability? And then I'm like, yeah, probably.
There's a whole room dedicated to it.
There's like a whole facility dedicated.
Like it depends what high school, but you know.
Yeah, I'm like if you go into my high school, I'm like, I know some great teachers that could help you out and stuff like that. And then they're just like, oh, cool. And then just like, what about course selection? How does that work? I'm like, grade 9, you're basically a prisoner. Grade 10, you're a prisoner with benefits, and then by grade 11, you're the top dog in your prison, and then grade 12, you're like, I'm breaking out of this prison.
You can do whatever you want in grade 12.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I know someone who got a 53 in math in grade 9, and then they went and did grade 10, grade 11, grade 12 math, like uni math, and got an A in all of them. And then in grade 12, their last semester, went back and did grade 9 math again to raise that grade. They went back. I can't think for some reason
you
today.
Can't
like
pronounce words today,
dude. I'm like I'm exhausted.
I'm mentally exhausted.
Like I've been thinking in algorithms all day today.
I've been thinking being tested all day.
Okay. Anyway, but no, yeah. So I remember that. Actually, you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
What you just explained, I lived that twice.
Oh yeah, I lived it more than once.
Oh well, no, I mean that the high school transition, because I went to high school in grade 9, definitely and high school in grade 10. In grade 10, I had to go through like that adapting to a new environment all over again. When I got to grade 11, it felt weird. Like, it's same people, same building. I was like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I should switch high school just for the sake of it. Just because this feels weird.
No, like, honestly, like when you're going into high school, people are asking you, oh my gosh, are you excited to go to high school? Literally, like, there's no difference. The only difference, like, if you're going with like the same people you've always known, the one difference is it's harder, and that happens literally every year. So like, what's the difference? You know what I mean?
I mean, you
get a little more liberty.
No, don't get me wrong. There are moments when, like grade 10 academic math to grade 11, those two courses, like the jump between grade 10 and 11, the difficulty level is like 0 to 100. Like, if you struggled in grade 10 math.
Yeah, because you literally show up in grade 10 and you're like, oh, okay, you know, like this is like new. Like
it's new stuff.
This is new. Like we're not joking like we were in grade 9 where like I knew this stuff and this is like all practice.
Yeah.
No, but grade 10 is just like this is quadratics.
And you're like, the what now?
And then you're just like, why?
And then like the slope and all that, they like break like the the graphing with the X and Y.
Yes.
And then you get to grade 11, and they're like, have you heard of the Z-axis? And you go, the what now?
See, I was never really taught depth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, I was a math guy.
But yeah, I know Z is depth.
I mean, anyway. Okay, look, I get that. No, but there was a lot of stuff in school. Like when I look back at it, it feels odd. Like it feels like a different person lived that.
Like I look at the the middle school. I look at the middle school me.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's that fat kid over there? I'm like, who's that little Latino with like that long hair?
Do you ever feel like that was a different person?
Yeah.
Like from who you are now?
Yeah, totally. Like if I saw that kid, I'd probably mess him up.
Like I'm sure you haven't felt it yet, but in like few years, you look back at high school and be like, who was that idiot?
No, I already do.
I already do. Oh man. No, I feel that. Like when I look back at high school,
like, I look back at high school and I'm like, I should have done this way instead of doing it this way. I'm like, I'm such an idiot.
Well, because now you have more life experience.
I'm like, you're so stupid. Like, what's wrong with you, child? Yeah.
Like I remember certain moments would have done totally different. Like I would have said different things, or I would have just walked away. Like the walk away is so crucial to high school.
If you're in high school right now and you're listening to this, let me tell you something. Walking away is probably the best decision.
No, it's honestly the power move.
Yeah.
Because if like say like you're in an argument with somebody, and you walk away, you're the bigger person.
Yeah.
Because
you're the bigger person, and you just pissed off the other guy.
Yeah.
Even more than if you would have said words.
Yeah. But the thing is like if you walk away.
I just had a deja vu. Like we have done this before.
Yeah, I think we have had this conversation.
No, but like literally in the exact same position we're in.
No, definitely not.
No, I know, which is really weird.
Because mind you, we're using another.
We talked about the walk away like 2 weeks ago, didn't we?
No.
Or we talked about something else. And I said that exact phrase, and then you just leave the person more pissed off than if you would have.
Well, like we've talked about this, but what I'm
gonna
getting
be like, you didn't talk about this.
But what I'm trying to get at is like there are moments like that in high school that you kind of you don't understand like the severity of certain things until later on. Like. I mean,
I did the walk away a few times.
No, like
because I knew better.
No, like I'm positive there are people to this day that have a specific perception about me that is night and day to like who I was back then.
Yeah,
like high school me and me now, like like strangers. They're like
through COVID.
Yeah,
my personality was like it just shifted.
Yeah,
like if you talk to me now, like and like try to see who I am as a person now.
Yeah.
And I open up to you, I'm like a totally different person than I was. Totally.
Well, I think a lot it's because you lacked human interaction.
No, and it's because I lacked human interaction that I'm more likable now, which is weird.
Right?
You know
like
you like had this the alone time was beneficial to my social life.
But oddly enough, like I feel like I'm faster, like I'm more witty, like I'm able to break a joke. I think maybe it's the podcast, but I'm like way more like I'm on like 95% of the time.
Bro,
when I'm talking to people, I'm just cracking jokes.
Yeah.
The entire like I'll go into bits like on a spur of the moment, like and it's gotten to a point now where like I will die for this bit. Like it's crazy.
I've dedicated jokes to like
after this podcast. I need to show you something in my group assignment that I was working on this morning with my group.
Yeah.
You'll laugh. You'll laugh. Cool. But we left it in there.
All right.
But stuff like that, I feel like we've become more likable because of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like I understand that for some people, like it was super detrimental because they're extroverted, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was like in the between.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to me,
so you're an advert.
Yeah, I'm an advert.
like in between.
Yeah.
Like I was like just super introvert, and then like right when COVID started, I was starting to become an extrovert.
Yeah.
And then I reverted even further introvert than before.
I personally think I think you're an advert, but like, or you're leaning towards
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
But like, remember the first few times we would go out, like after the lockdown happened?
Yeah.
I couldn't even talk. Like
he couldn't even talk to a cashier.
I couldn't talk to people. Like it was so bad.
I had to talk to the cashier. You're like, okay, I can't do this.
Like it was so bad. It was horrible. I was like,
See, and sometimes we crack jokes and like jokes that can just happen.
Yeah.
And like the people around us will just start laughing though. They'll be like,
well, like the way I am, like around people now, specifically in class, like they'd be like, this guy's BSing. There's no way he's an introvert, because I feel like there's a lot of people in certain class, they don't turn on their cameras.
Yeah.
So because you can't see them, like I'll just have like a side convo with the prof in the middle of class, and I'll just be cracking jokes.
Yes, I don't do that.
And like, well, like
actually, I almost never talk in class.
Well, like, neither do I, but, like, if the prof calls on you...
I've only had the prof call on me once. You know why?
I've had that happen a few times.
You know why?
Why?
I want to know why. Because the one time they tried to catch me off guard...
You got them off guard?
I caught them off guard.
Of course. You're like reverse Suno card.
Exactly what I did.
Oh.
Just because.
Just that one tap, bro.
It's like that one part... Shakespeare story where that one guy gets one tapped, with the sword, and he dies instantly. It was just
are you not saying his name to not really spoil?
Okay, so there's just one guy who gets like tapped by a sword. He literally, like, if you watch the film and you've watched Romeo and Juliet, there's this one guy who gets stabbed by a long fencing sword, and he barely even gets touched by the sword.
We're over the time right now.
Huh?
We're over the time.
Yeah, we're over the time. Actually, guys, I think we're gonna have to wrap up and make this like a part 2 for next week. I will tell you who got stabbed.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, if there's children listening, stop listening to this. Grow up a little. I'm kidding. If you're old, grow up.
Santa's not real.
Okay, Santa Claus is not real. Oh my gosh, I know a few people.
Neither is Easter Bunny. Tooth Fairy's a lie.
They're all your parents. Honestly, just ask your parents for money. See what they do. See what their facial expression is.
Also, like, who got the eggs with the bunny? Like, I don't...
Yeah, I know. Who thought of that? Like, you know what? We're going to talk about that near Easter. Easter. Now you're rubbing off on me.
I'm broken, man. I need help.
Easter. We're going to talk about that.
Like in April?
Sure.
Of next year.
Sure. I won't remember this.
Do we get like a bunch of Easter eggs and stuff?
We'll see what we'll do. Anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Everything's always in the description, whether it be up, down, left, or right. Make sure to share with your grandma, share with your rooster, share with your donkey, share with your, I don't know, your domesticated animal creatures in your homes. Anyways, share with everyone and everything. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye.